Today we're going to be working in PowerPoint 2013, looking at Lesson 5 from our Pearson book. In this lesson we're going to be discussing formatting of text. We're going to show you how to use the Find and Replace tool. We will also use the Replace fonts, something new to PowerPoint, does not exist in Word. We're going to be discussing how to select placeholders to format the text. We will be formatting that text, and a couple new items that we haven't used before is text shadowing and character spacing. Going back to our review item, we will use the format painter to copy things from one slide to another. And then finally, we're going to wrap up with discussing clear formatting and resetting. These are two very similar features, but they have some marked differences, and we want to define those and help you understand how to use them. Alright, the first thing we're going to need to do is to open our file, and for this you do need to have your book open, so please turn to page 876. 876 is the page number that you need to be at. Once you've turned to page 876, you can open the PowerPoint file that you will find at this location. So opening PowerPoint, you'll want to save this P05 try file. Save this to your Documents folder. You want to save this to a folder with today's date. Alright, our file is open. We've saved it now, and so we are going to begin our lesson. It's going to start by using the Find and Replace tool. Find and Replace tool. We've used this tool in Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, and now it's available here in Microsoft PowerPoint. Now, if my goal is to simply look for something, I would use the Find tool. But if I know on the onset that I'm going to look for something and replace it with something else, I'm going to go right to the Replace option. So I'm going to click Replace right here. And again, the reason for doing that is because that opens both my Find and my Replace options. If I had just gone to Find, I would not have my Replace option. Here we're going to type in the term walkathon, W-A-L-K-A-T-H-O-N. Walkathon, W-A-L-K-A-T-H-O-N. That is going to be in all lowercase letters. And in the Replace With box, they wish to type the same word, but we will do it in capital letters. So we're typing walkathon again, but this time it will be in capital letters. Now, I have typed in walkathon twice, once in lowercase, once with initial caps. I'm now going to use Find Next to find the first instance of this word. On slide number 5, we find walkathon. I do wish to replace this with the capitalized version, so I will choose the Replace option for this first word found. It then looks into the notes for Chapter 5, the notes section, and it finds walkathon again. Actually, this is the plural version of the word, walkathons. This one we do not wish to capitalize, so we are not going to choose Replace. Instead, we're going to click Find Next to see if there are any other instances of this word. PowerPoint tells us that was the last match found, so I click OK, and then I can close out of the Replace dialog box. Next, I want to look through my document and I want to replace some of the fonts. If I click on some of the text that is found in here, you will find that there is a font that is used called TWCENMT. Now what I want to do is I want to replace this font with a condensed version of it. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to go to the Replace drop-down arrow. Find and Replace, Home tab, clicking the drop-down on Replace. There is an option that says Replace Fonts. This option is not available in Microsoft Word. It is something that is unique to Microsoft PowerPoint. Now in the Replace drop-down, I can choose from the different options that are available. Here, we are going to choose to replace the font Calibri. So every place in this presentation where Calibri is used, they wish to replace with the font TW. So here I am in the With box, and I'm going to type in the letter T, scrolling down to my TWCENMT condensed. So I click on that font. So now it's going to replace every instance of the font Calibri with this other font type. I choose the Replace option. Instantly throughout the document that has been done. I will not see any obvious changes. I click the Close button, and now all of my fonts within my presentation that were previously Calibri will be done in the TWCENMT condensed. Alright, if you will, please go to slide number 2 for a moment. If you click on Help the Homeless, notice this box that appears around the outside. That is called a placeholder. Doing the same thing with the bottom section, you will see a box that contains the placeholder here. If I wish to edit something in the box, I could select the text and I could format it, make it bold, make it underlined, etc. Nothing new there. However, if my goal is to format everything within that box, I can click on that outside edge. That is called selecting the placeholder. With that placeholder selected, I can then format that entire placeholder with one click of the mouse. Alright, to demonstrate this, let's go to slide number 5. Slide number 5. How to get involved. Here, we are going to select the title placeholder. So I click inside the title. I then click the dotted line around the outside of the title. It will then become a solid line. Now I can make some changes, and these changes will affect the entire title. The first change we're going to make is something we've done many times before, and that is to change the font color. Clicking on the font drop-down, we are looking for the option that says Brown Accent 5. Brown Accent 5. It is located in the top row, so I click on Brown Accent 5. The next option is an option that we have not used before. It's called text shadowing. We've done bold, we've done italics, we've done underline. The next one, though, on the ribbon of PowerPoint is text shadowing. If you click on text shadowing, you will see that it gives the text a slightly different shadow effect to the particular font that was selected. The next change they want to make is a couple buttons over. It is character spacing. This AV with a line underneath it is your character spacing. Clicking the drop down, you will see several choices. Okay, we're going to choose for this based on our book's request. We're going to choose a loose setting. Okay, loose, very loose. Okay, allows us to spread the characters around. Loose is the setting that they're telling us to choose. Spreads the characters out a little bit more. And finally, the last step in this particular slide is we're going to change the size of the text to size 66. Alright, we've made some changes here. Now, what we want to do is we want to apply these same changes that we made to slide 5's title. We wish to actually change slide 4 so that it has the same look. So, going back to slide 5 here, I'm going to again select my title placeholder. If you never clicked away, that's fine. If the title placeholder is selected, you're good. And what I want to do is I want to use my format painter. The format painter allows me to copy a look from one slide to another, so I click on the format painter. Now I'm going to click on slide 4, and now I take my mouse to the title area, click on that title, and instantly it takes on the same look that slide 5 had in its title. Let's go back to slide 5. The reason why we used the format painter to copy the look from 5 to 4 was because we realized a mistake we had made. The formatting that we wanted on slide 4, not slide 5. We want to put slide 5 back to the standard way that we want to see all of our slides. So we do not want this special formatting. Now, in order to get that back, I have two options. One is I can select the text that's been formatted differently, and as we used in Word, we can use this button called Clear All Formatting. If I did that, it would remove the formatting from this particular text and only this text. However, in PowerPoint, we do have another option. There is this button called Reset. Clicking on Reset, what that will do is it will set this entire slide back to the original settings of the PowerPoint presentation. So any settings that might have been made to the title or to the bulleted list down below would be changed back to the original settings for the slideshow. So again, the Reset button or the Clear All Formatting button. Clear All Formatting allows for targeting of specific text to be reset, or if I wish to reset the whole slide, I can quickly do that with the Reset button. Guys, that does wrap us up for this particular lesson. So we do need to save our work. Click File, Save. If you have not yet saved it to a folder with today's date, please do that so you will have that available for when we upload to Schoology later. In Lesson 5, we talked about formatting the text. We used Find and Replace to locate text within our document. We used a new feature called Replace Fonts found on the Home tab, the drop-down of Replace, in order to switch a font within our presentation from one font to another. We talked about selecting placeholders to change an entire placeholder rather than specific text within the placeholder. We did make some changes. We specifically dealt with text shadow and character spacing, which are on the Home tab in the Font group. We revisited the Format Painter. And then finally, we discussed the difference between the Clear Formatting button, technically I believe it's Clear All Formatting button, and the Reset button. Clear All Formatting allows you to target specific text on your slide, whereas the Reset button will reset that entire slide back to the default settings. I hope this helps you as you are learning to format your text in PowerPoint. My name is Mr. Miller. Thank you very much.